This is Anant Ambani, Indian billionaire businessman and the visionary behind Ventara, the largest wildlife sanctuary on Earth, having rescued over 1 million animals. As I was helping with a tiger ingestion at Ventara, Anant walked in and I caught him for an intimate one-on-one interview. This is that interview. Let me ask you something. Why? It's so much rescue. Why? It's just every day, every night.
Just a passion I built since I was a young child. I thought that we should do something for the animals who have no word, like they can't speak for themselves, and these are all endangered animals. I don't know if my great-grandchild will be able to ever see them in the wild.
Right.
So I did something. I think we all talk about being kind to animals, and we are taught that from a young child that you have to, at least in our Indian culture, that you have to be kind to animals and you have to think a lot about animals. However, no one thinks about how we should care for these animals and how we must take care of these animals in a way that they are happy and in a way that we can preserve them. So my main aim was to, from a child I've always rescued animals. I first rescued an animal from the slaughterhouse in Mumbai. My grandfather took me and it was a chicken.
A chicken?
So my first ever animal, I was 2 years old and I got a chicken, and then I had 500 chickens because every time I did something good, my grandfather said, go get a chicken, go get a chicken, go get a chicken.
And just like a food chicken, just a regular food chicken?
Yeah, just a white. In India we call them boiler chickens. Then my second rescued animal were goats.
Okay.
So I started off like that.
So you went small to bigger to bigger?
Yeah, and then I had fish at home, mollies and guppies. That time our government were releasing guppies in the drains to keep the mosquito population in control.
Right.
So I used to go with a net wherever the puddles would form and get the guppies out in the monsoon season. So that's how it all started. And then slowly I thought that there are a lot of people doing a lot for domestic animals, but for the wild there are very few people who do rescue, rehabilitation and conservation breeding. So I thought this should become the hub, and I started this my first elephant I rescued was in 2007.
Wow, that's a long time ago already.
I was a young boy, so I
You were
rescued.
a teenager.
I was, I think, 12 or 13 years old.
Okay.
When I rescued my first ever baby elephant. She was not a baby. I call her baby because she was a baby to me. But she was 30 years old. I don't know if you can film her, but her name is Gory.
Oh, we filmed Gory.
Yeah.
She's the old elephant, the little one. She's relatively short. We filmed Gory. She's beautiful.
So that was the first elephant. I was going to Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. So I was in the car and I saw her walk with a person who was making a beg.
Yeah.
To survive for himself also.
Sure.
So at that time we got her here. The Mahat is still here. You'll meet him too. His name is
on
Kailash.
On your very first rescue, you rescued her and the Mahout.
Yes.
And you brought them both.
Yes, Kailash is still here.
He's
actually the owner of the elephant.
Is that the foundation of Ventara, that first elephant?
Yes.
She started it all.
In wild animals, the first elephant, and I rescued, I think, 9 macaws from Great Mumbai Circus.
What do you do when you are driving down the road and you pull over and go, I want to save that elephant and I want you to come with me? It's not like you had this built.
I spoke to the Mahavat, and actually Kailash became a good friend.
Oh, love.
So I spoke to him. I would talk to him maybe. It was like, I just did not go and say, I want to buy an elephant. Let's go home.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Sit down.
You can't buy elephants. So I maybe met him 10 times. I went to Jaipur from Mumbai.
Oh my goodness.
10 times, and I met him and I told him that, we'll get you a better life. You can stay there with the elephant. The elephant will have a better life. He will have a better life. His family will be educated.
Wow.
So he had a daughter and a son. One was 3 and one was 5.
Okay.
So we got them and we educated them.
You brought the whole family.
So we got the whole family. So rescue operation also, at a lot of times, especially with elephants in India, needs a lot of persuasion, needs a lot of dedication from our end to convince the owners that this is the better way. We don't like to tell them that they're doing it the wrong way because they're less aware of what they're doing. So for them, it's their father who's taught them how to control the elephant. And some people do positive reinforcement, some people do negative reinforcement.
And it's a balance,
So
right?
it's a balance, but sometimes because of the lack of awareness, it's negative reinforcement. That's their own way. So here my way is that I don't think they're wrong. I rather rehabilitate them to take care of the animal in a correct way than telling them they're wrong and get them off it. Because they have, how will they fill their stomachs otherwise?
Right. And they have to break a generational cycle so
They
that
do.
their children, if they become mahouts and their children aren't negative, they have to be
100%.
positive.
100%.
So last thing, and then I know we've got more to do. I'll ask you one last thing because I'm just so curious. You start with one elephant and you've built the largest wildlife facility in the world. That's
yeah.
renegade conservation. That's not conservation done by the book. It's not like you went to school to be a biologist.
To be honest, I've done political science and business management.
Yeah.
So I've studied in these two topics from Brown University.
Right.
It's all practical knowledge, and I've learned from the vets I interact with, from the keepers I interact with, from our biologists, from our management team. So it's on-the-job learning, and I have traveled extensively to see how other animal care centers work. And I must say that I am very proud of small rescue centers operating in India and people with limited resources doing so much for wildlife, like Wildlife SOS and Rescue in Pune and the Pune Snake Park, stuff like that. So I got my inspiration from people across India. Like there was a very famous person in India called Dr. Prakash Amte. He's dedicated his life to do rescue work for wildlife and rehabilitate wildlife. At the same time, he's also a doctor by profession, and he free of cost gives treatment to the locals in the area where he is, which is an extremely forested area and with limited resources. So in India, there's a lot of inspiration to look around. Whenever I travel, I make it a point to visit the local rescue center, rehabilitation center, and also to visit local zoos, because zoos do a lot for rehabilitation. People always misconceive. Yes, I don't know what zoos were 20 years ago, but today 80% of the zoos are working towards animal conservation, breeding, preservation, and releasing back in the wild. So I don't know if you read the news, we just sent 41 Spix macaws back to the wild.
I've been following it like this, very, very closely.
So eventually we run a lot of breeding conservation projects here. So eventually our aim for Vantara is conservation breeding, preservation, rescue and rehabilitation, and creating a genetic bank that no one else has ever seen.
Right.
So that how a lot of captive species today are founder species for the wild. Like that, we always have a stable captive population, so that ever the wild needs it, we can support it. At the same time, supporting the wild also is one of our main missions.
So where is your passion? Is it business and everything that you've accomplished, or is it wildlife? Where does it rank for you?
I think every person has a calling.
Yes.
So my calling is wildlife, and my dream and ambition is to do good for Indian people with business.
And you figured out how to do both.
I think there's not been a single day in my life, at least from the last 15 years, that I've not given 2 hours a day to Vantara. So my aim is not more than 2 hours, because I think, and weekends I'm mostly here. So Jamnagar is home for me, so I work from here.
Sure.
So yeah, that's it.
Well, it's a very admirable passion, and I know, whether you admit it or not, we've spent more than 2 hours talking about wildlife in a day. So thank you for everything, my friend.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview and want to learn more about what Ventara looks like behind the scenes, please check out Ventara Sanctuary Stories right now on HBOMax, Animal Planet, Discovery Plus, and JioHotstar, and premiering around the world on Discovery Channel on Earth Day in April 2026. Check it out, you're going to love it.